once you have your program all downloaded on your computer, then once you open it, you're going to see something like this. So this is your screen here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through and just do a overview of all of the different buttons that you're going to see, because honestly, this looks so intimidating when you first open it. I don't know if you are familiar or have seen like Adobe like Photoshop or Illustrator or those, but I open those and I look at them and then I close them because I'm like, yeah, that's like a lot of buttons. I don't understand this. So I just want to start off by saying this does look super scary and intimidating, but I promise you, once you make your first 1 or 2 projects, then you're like, oh, okay, this is so not scary or bad or hard to do at all. So, this is what it's going to look like no matter if you have Windows or Apple or whatnot. It's going to be the same exact look here. So, I'm just going to start up here in the top corner and just work my way over, and I'm going to show you what each of these buttons do because they look really scary and intimidating, but they are not. So this one right here is, let me help to click on my program here. So this one right here is new. So if you want to do something new, you just click on that and it's going to open up a new window. And what I love is you can work on multiple projects at the same time. Oh, I've been making some kitchen labels for myself, for my kitchen and my pantry. So those are right there. And let's see, I am working on that, but I have something else I'm working on at the same time. I can have all of these different tabs open, which I love. It's not just, I don't have to hurry up and save and cancel out my other thing that I'm doing so that I can work on another project. So that is something that I absolutely love about Silhouette. This next button right here is open. And from there, you can open something from your desktop if you have a file you've been working on, or anything like that. So like, for example, this is a project I was working on before. If I double click on that, it'll open it up for me. So it says it's loading, and there's my project I was working on from there. So next button is this one, save. Self-explanatory. You can save your project from there. It'll pop that up, and you could save it wherever you would like. Now this is something though that I will say is 100% worth it to upgrade to that business edition, because instead of just only being able to save it as the Silhouette Studio file, you can save it as an SVG, a PNG, JPEG, a GSP, or a PDF. So you have all of those options, which is amazing. So if you've created something like a tumbler wrap and you want to sell it, I mean, you can download it and create it as a PNG and a PDF to sell it, which is amazing. And then it's already set up for the cutting program as far as the sizing goes. And it's definitely a game changer and really worth it and so nice. And it also opens you up to be able to transfer these files that you've created in this program and open them up with other cutting machine programs if you want to. So that is the save there. And next is print. And whenever you hit print, it's really nice. It always shows you this print preview, so you can see exactly what is printing, but I'm going to cancel that. And what's nice about this is you don't have any limits on your sizing with printing, so you don't have to worry about being in a 6x9 box, which is another awesome feature and 100% worth it with this as well. So next is cut, copy, paste, and then of course we always need an undo button because we are not perfect, and a redo in case you push undo too many times. Also, what's nice is you can hit multiple undo and it'll open this box up here, and you can go back. Like if you know I need to go back like 2 steps, it'll take you all the way back there. So, or, oh, nope, I want to redo those. So I like that feature as well. Just go ahead and click out of that. Next is this one here, select all, deselect all, and then this one here, select by color. So if I have, let me go ahead and I'm going to show you on this one right here. Let me ungroup these. So I'm just going to go ahead and make half of this red. Okay. So what I'm going to do, oops, is click on that. I want to select all the ones that are black. And see, so it only selects the black ones and not the red. So this is awesome if you are doing something that is layered with multiple colors and you're not like, especially if it's something that's small and little bit more like detailed, then you can select just that one color and then you don't have to worry about like accidentally moving the wrong items. So again, also something that I love. Okay, and then next we've got zoom in, zoom out. And then this one is you can drag over a certain shape that you want to zoom in. So you can pick which spot you want to zoom in on. Let me show you on this. So if I just want to see flower better, there's that, which is nice. You get to pick where it zooms in on there. Next is this one. You can zoom in and out using your mouse. Pan it. There's that. Whoops. As I move this. And then this button right here, if you've zoomed in or out too much and you don't know where you're at now, because that happens, you can go ahead and hit this button and it'll move it and fit it to your window. So that's all your basic functions at the top. It's mostly just your standard like editing, kind of pretty much what you would see here up in this edit drop down right there. Okay. Next is this right here. You're just going to see all these colors, and this is your fill color. Okay. So for example, I am just going to, oops, I'm very zoomed in. We are going to create a shape. Let's just do a circle, whatever this is. Okay. So I've got my circle here. And right now, so what it always automatically defaults to is transparent with a red line. And so I don't want that. So what I want to do is go ahead and select my image and I can change the color of the inside, which is so nice. And then this is the line color on the outside. So I can either make it so that there is no line or do it as black. So that's basically what that does. Now, the next thing is the line here. So you can, if you've created lines or anything, you can kind of determine how big or how small you want them to be from there. And if you want your lines to be a funky shape or just those, but we'll get more into that stuff later on. Just doing an overview for now. Okay, so now let's go down the side right here. So this is obviously select. So if you want to just select an object. So, and also I always kind of think of it as like the reset button almost. So if I've been down in one of these tabs working on something, I know if I just click on that, it'll automatically just take me back to my normal stuff. So I always call that the reset button. But anyway, next right here is the lasso. This is also a feature that is specific to the business edition of this. And as it says, it allows you to select shapes that are enclosed by the lasso. Hold the shift button and, sorry, I can't read fast enough. Hold shift to select shapes that are enclosed or touching the lasso. So what I can do is lasso and then click and it'll let you select it. But I'm pretty sure I could even like do this. Oh, I guess it would help if I hit shift while I did it. Maybe it's because I have to have two objects. I don't know. But anyway, there's your lasso button. Okay, next is you can edit the points. So when you click on that, it allows you to change. Now this is really cool if you have an object that you're trying, like a text you're trying to change, or just like one letter you wanted to kind of change, or it's nice if you're doing monograms and all those kind of things. So yeah, so there's that one. Next is lines, if you just want to create a line. And then this is where that kind of comes into effect, where you can select what kind of line you want. If you want it just to be dots or longer dots, I'm going to make it black though, so you can actually see it. And then you can kind of change your shape as well. So there's that. Next is shapes. So you always have your basic shapes here. You've got all of these shapes, which is nice. So you can create a heart here. Just make it red. So there you go. And what's nice with these shapes here, they always have like this little circle on them, and you can kind of reshape them from there, and yeah, move them around really easy, and yeah, kind of just do whatever you want with it. It's super easy and convenient to do all these things, because I like it because you can make everything your own. You're not just limited to what they want you to do. Next is like a freehand tool. This is nice if you want to write. So something that's cool, you can create a font with this as well. So you can write, and I don't even know what that was, but yeah. So there's that. Next is just text. So you can write with that. And what's nice is with that, you have access to all of your fonts on your computer on there. Next right here is draw a note. I have actually never used this before. Oh, that's cool. You can write little notes about probably what your project is. So on there. So that's nice. So yeah. So if you wanted to do that. Next is the eraser tool, which is nice. So if you have just a section of, let's say I wanted the bottom of this circle gone, then I can go in and erase that, which is nice. And then next is the knife tool, which this comes in handy if you have some of your image that you want to cut off. So you just hold the shift button down and it'll do a straight line for you. And then now it is 2 pieces right there. And all these things, I will do a video, like a better detailed video of these different features. So I am going really fast with these, so don't worry, that's, yeah. And then next is this button right here. And actually, I've never really used that button before. Transfer properties of a shape to a selected shape. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I actually am not. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so if you click on that, you can change the color of this to that. So that's cool. Okay, anyway, so there is that side here. And then from here, you can show your library or hide your library. We'll go to the library later. I actually never have that really opened over there though, because it's kind of annoying to have, because it takes up like so much of the screen. Although you can move it over a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that one. Okay, next up here, we have this side now. And these are all of your editing features where you can really edit what your project is and what you are doing. So here, the top is your page setup panel, and this is where you are able to size everything. You can select your machine. If you don't have a machine, you can select none if you're strictly printing or just creating a file that you want to save. You can select if you have a cutting mat or not. Something I love, I think this is my favorite thing about the cutting machine, is you don't have to have a mat. And you don't have to use a special kind of vinyl in order to not have a mat. It's just, you just use regular vinyl and you don't have to have the mat in there at all. And you can cut as long as you want. It's so nice. But, so you can select that. You can do your media size. And they have some pre-saved options of sizing here. Or you can do custom and select your own size. Just whatever you would like to do. And you can adjust that there. And then you've got your transparency if you want that on there at all. And then if you want to make sure your media stays on the cutting mat, you can select that. So if you have something over there and it won't let you cut it, like unless it's on the cutting mat, which is nice. So next is, I don't ever have that selected though, because yeah. Next here is orientation. You can either do portrait or landscape. And then here is your media color. Right now it's set to white. I always have it just set to white. But if I'm doing like white words or anything, like for example, this right here, if I was doing these white, I can't see them if I'm doing this. So what I can do is I can set my media color just so it's a different color. It does not, unless you print this, it does not affect your cut in any way. It's just nice because then you can see everything that you're doing better. So that's kind of the only time I ever use that, unless I am designing something specific, but otherwise I just always leave it white on there. Next is you can rotate your mat. This little arrow is showing you where your cutting machine is, like where you're going to be feeding it into the machine. So you can rotate it where you would be doing that. And then here is, you can show the print border. So if you are printing, it needs to be within that box. And if you are cutting, it needs to be within the thread, which is nice. So you don't ever have to worry about it going too much. Or also what's nice is if you are a little bit outside, hold on, I'm going to, I'm just going to create another shape really quick. Okay. So let's say I'm doing this heart. But it's too big for my mat. Then something that I can do is it will still allow me to cut it. I can just do like half of the heart here and then the other half on there, if that makes sense. So sometimes if I have words that are too big or it gets cut off a little bit, it's fine. Like I can cut that side on there. It'll still cut, basically. It's not going to give you any errors and say that you've messed up and you can't do this. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, okay, so that is this panel here. Your next panel right here is the pick scan panel. And this is how you are going to do stickers. And I will do, that's a whole other thing. So I will for sure, probably the next video or two, I'll be doing some stickers for you. So this is where you can do your stickers and all of that. So we'll do that. And then this one right here is if the colors for filling. So if I wanted to change the color, I don't really use this panel a whole lot just because, I mean, you can do it with that. The only thing I do use this is if I want to fill it with a pattern, then you can do that from here, which is nice. So you do have that option as well. And you can set the transparency of that also. And yeah, just kind of change all of those different things. And then next is this panel, which is the line style panel. And again, that is if you have created a line, then you can say how thick you want it to be. I mean, you can also do that up here. I actually like this panel better though. I feel like you have a little bit more options here. You can also change your corners if you have a box, if you want a rounded corner or cut off or more of a square. Also, if you would like some type of end caps on there and the position of everything. So you can also set a line pattern of how you want your line to look. So they kind of have some fun little options there, which is nice. So, and then you can also decide what color you would like everything from there as well. And then, I mean, this is just kind of some different, you can change the design and kind of move it up as you would like. So now, one thing, the lines, so this has that red line around it. If I were to print this right now, that red line would not show up. If I want that red line to show up from here, I can print the lines of the selected shapes. So if I want that red line to be on there, if I select that, then it'll print off. Next is, this is probably one that I use so much. This right here is, so if I had this image right here imported and I wanted to cut it out, but it's not allowing me to because it's just an image, I can actually go to this one. I don't know if that is a butterfly. I think it looks like a piece of toast. So I don't know. I just click on the little piece of toast basically, but I think it's a butterfly, but click on the little toast. And then from here, what you're going to do is, actually, I am going to open up a file that has, hold on one second. Bear with me for just like a super quick moment on here. Okay, so let's say I have this file right here, and this is just, I'm gonna go ahead and import it. It's a PDF, so whenever you import PDFs, it always asks you that. Okay, so let's say I have this file right here, and this is something I just created for my orders to give them. So what I can do, this right now, if I cut it, it's not gonna cut because there's no cut lines on it. So what I can do is I can click on the little toast button, and then from here, I can select trace area and then put a box around it. And what it does is it finds the image. And from here, you can adjust how you want it to be. Okay, normally it's not like this hard to do, but I don't know why I'm being so special with this right now. But normally you can sit there and, okay. And you can kind of adjust this. Apparently I picked like the worst image possible because it does not normally look like this. Okay, it normally doesn't look like that, but anyway, normally it would be a lot cleaner. I must have picked like something terrible to do. But anyway, so you'll do that, and then what's nice is you can either have it do a solid fill or just do the outline if you would like. And then from here, I can actually go ahead and hit trace. I'll do another video on how to do that because this is just a quick one. And then from there, I can delete that. Now I have my cut file. Isn't that amazing? So I'll do a whole video on that because that was a terrible example. But anyway, so there's that. And then next is image effects. So you can, this is kind of where you can edit your image. From there, text style, it's kind of the same thing as when you have that, but you can, here's kind of a more expanded window on there. This is really cool. You can create fonts from here as well. So you can actually do your font creations. Another cool thing that it has is you can transform your items. So you kind of, from there, you can replicate and duplicate from there. This is really nice if you are making stickers or doing something where you're going to be needing several of a certain image. It's really nice because it does it all for you. And then you can also mirror your image, but you can select how you want it to be mirrored. Your next thing is modifying. You can weld. subtract things, divide, crop, intersect, subtract. Like there's so many things you can do. It's like the slicing and dicing and all that stuff. You can make compound paths and release them, and then detach lines. Like there's so many things. Offsets. Offsets are so easy on here. Like it's amazing how. I'm just gonna type my name in, except it went giant. So let me go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so the offset is nice because when you go in here, you can kind of determine how big it is, if you want it to be boxy or there, and then just kind of take it from there. And when you hit apply, it automatically welds it for you on there. But yeah, the offset works really good on here, which is nice. And you can do that. It doesn't only work with text. You can do it with images as well. So go back to like our heart here. We can offset it and make it as big or small as you want. So yes, for stickers, it's so nice. So there's that option there. Your next thing is pop-up options. To be honest, I actually am not really too sure what that does. Whenever I click on it, it just says little things. I'm guessing that's more if you do like paper projects, possibly, if you want it to be like 3D and popping up and stuff. So, but I don't do a lot with paper, so I am not sure. This one is cool. This is Stipple. So if you work with that, then they have all these different options of things that you can do on there. And then this panel is embossing. So if you do embossing, puzzle, you can turn your shape into a puzzle. So, and pick how many rows and columns and all of that stuff. So this heart is now a puzzle. So that kind of turns that into those. The other cool thing, there's design page nesting. So you can do some different things with that. Next is sketch. If you just want to sketch some different things, it kind of turns whatever you're doing and turns it into like different designs, which is nice. So, I mean, that one, so you can kind of click on some different things on there if you want to add some texture, different design to anything that you are making. So you can also create like a different edge. So if you have your heart here and I want it to look kind of more hand drawn, you can do that and kind of change the different designs on there, which is really cool. I like that. Okay, and then the next thing is if you work with rhinestones. So I just got some rhinestones, so I'm excited to kind of play with this one. I haven't done it too much, but you can actually create your rhinestone design on here, and then that way you can cut it out and put it on whatever you are rhinestoning. So I can't tell you too much how this works right now, so I'm definitely going to figure that out and I will let you know. But yeah, I think that is something that's cool. And that also is another thing that works with the business edition. So that does not work in the basic. So, and then these are also non-basic things. So you have got a media layout set up, so you can change how you see everything and how they look. From there, the next thing, oh, this one is so nice. So this is a weed setting border thing. So if you are weeding, so for example, this page right here, this is a beast to weed and would not be super fun. So what you can do is they have this option where you can have weed lines. So you can do horizontal. Actually, sorry, I'm going to change the media color back to white. And then turn this back to be black. Okay, so with the weeding lines here, I can set it so it will cut these horizontal lines for me. And, or you can do vertical, except I put these on here really terribly, so it's not very good on there, but anyway. Or the other thing, oh, see, like right there. And then the other thing, you can have it do horizontal and vertical. And then there's also recursive, which that one is amazing if you have something like super intricate, because these blue lines, the machine actually cuts it. So then it's so much easier to weed. So for example, when I do this, I don't have to worry about pulling up an entire word. I just do one letter at a time. So it's really nice if you have something like this. So that's another thing only on the business one that is a total game changer. Next is your work panel. This is where you can do your different designs of your words. So if I wanted to go in here, I can change it. And what's nice is you can kind of determine how you want it to be. So you can kind of take that from there and edit it and move it around and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so there's that panel. And then finally you have your layers. So you can select which layers you want from there. Okay. And then down here, you've just got like your general settings and defaults and all that kind of stuff. And then from here is you can change the theme. So if you want it just to be white and gray, or you can have it dark, just depending on you. But there's that. Up here now is your design. Next is the store. That takes you to the website. Next is your library. This is where everything is saved, and it's nice because you can do folders, and it goes from like if you're on a couple different computers, it will save them all. And then you have send, and this is where you do your cut file. And what's so nice is while you are cutting something, you can go back to design and work on other stuff. So anyway, sorry, this is a very long, boring video, but just to give you an idea, that's kind of all the different features that the Silhouette Studio has. And I will definitely be doing more in-depth things that show exactly what the features do and how you can implement them with your business. But let me know if you have any questions at all, and hope you have a great night. About one of my other absolute favorite features of this, and that is up here. If you go to File, well, if I did the right one, okay. If you go to File, you can actually hit Open Recovered, and it'll pull up all of your projects that you have been working on. It automatically will save them. So even if you didn't save it, you can still reopen it over here, which is so great. So let's say my computer like crashed, or my computer, like the program for some reason had to close. I can click on that and then I don't lose my project. So that is definitely a total, like, just a wonderful, happy thing. So anyway, that was all.